Ladies and gentlemen, you wanted it, so here it is. We are going to be doing an in-depth look at how many stones we can earn from part 3. With part 3 set to drop in about a day or two, a lot of people are eager to work on all the new events, get more dragon stones, and perhaps either summon on the current 7th anniversary banners or save for the incoming worldwide download celebration, which is set to be as hype as the 7-year part 1 banners, if not more so. So it's very important that you guys can get as many stones as you possibly can, which is why we're going to be doing that in today's video, just going over how many we can earn. Now, before we get started, I do want to mention there are some possible variables. Number one, there can be some rounding and calculation error because after all, I'm human and I'm also a part dummy. So there could possibly be some issues with that. And I hope I don't, because I spent a lot of time on this one. So I don't think there's going to be a problem, but you know, always worth pointing that out. Also, there can be some unpredictable schedule changes that could end up displacing events. And the main reason why I would mention that in this particular time is because of the inevitable global first event that is set to drop sometime during the 7-year anniversary. Clearly, it hasn't happened in parts 1 and 2, which means it's going to either happen in part 3 or the extra part. We don't know when. And as a result of that, depending on how extravagant that event is, it could end up then moving other events in different places, either more into part 3 or some of the part 3 events move into part 4 and part 3 then remains a little bit different. So we're going to have to, take that with a grain of salt. Also, there could be random social media campaigns that could possibly throw some, extra stones into the mix that might not be counted here. And of course, if you're a new player, you've just got a vast variety of events to run through you haven't even done yet, which means there are going to be more stones and more missions to complete. So I can't count for all of those. This is just going to be counting the 7-year anniversary. So with that said, let's jump in and let's see how many stones we can extract from this anniversary part 3. Now, I've got the JP rundown for their stones right here, just to cross-reference in case there might be some issue, just to prove that everything's absolute and to the letter. So now let's jump in and take a look. I've written everything down here on my little notepad. Let's start with the daily login. For those of you who don't know, the daily login is triple the usual amount. We earn 3 stones per day as opposed to 1, which unfortunately I made a mistake on last video. But looking at part 3, it started on the 22nd of February for JP, and then it ended a week later as part 4 started on the 1st of March, which is a Tuesday. So literally 7 days. So part 3 could very well end up being 7 days, which is what we're going to count. So 7 times 3 gives us 21. 121. All right. So then looking at the special missions here, they don't have the logins accounted for, but the special missions gives you 2. Now, I really didn't like that, so I definitely went to go check it out and see if we actually do only get 2 stones. Looking at the part 3 missions, it looks to be the case. You only get a bunch of medals here, tickets, yada, yada, yada. The only stone count comes right here at the end by completing all part 3 missions. That too, when we complete all parts 1, 2, and 3, we don't even earn stones. We just earn tickets. Not that I'm complaining. It's just very unusual to not see stones as a reward here. But alas, you are only earning 2 stones. So we're going to count 2 right here for special missions. That brings our total to 23. I should keep track of that down here. All right, now for the co-op missions, this one is pretty straightforward. It's just 7 stones. So we're just going to count 7 stones right here. I don't really want to bother looking. I'm pretty sure this is going to be fine. So 7 stones. Let's just count that. So 7, we add that. That is 30 stones so far. All right, good start. 30 stones. Now we look at the red zone events. So we've got red zone GT bosses and red zone movie bosses. So for both, 3 new additions are being added: level 5, level 6, and level 7. Now, obviously, this might be a bit of an issue for some of you. So you may not be able to earn some of these stones right away, but still, we're going to count them all. So 1, 2, 3 for simply completing the stages. So that's 3 plus the 5 for each stage that you earn as a reward for completing that mission. So 15 just from the missions, plus the 3 makes 18, and that is exactly the same for the GT edition as well. 18 stones in the books. So we're going to count that, and if we cross-reference it with JP, that is exactly what they had, 18 and 18. So we're going to add 18 and 18, which is 36. So 18 plus 18. These things might be out of sync in terms of like the line, whatever. 36 plus 30 gives us 66. Okay, pretty good. Now moving on to the LREZAs right here, these. Okay, so let's take a look at those. This is just your standard EZA event, except it's an LR, which means we are jam-packing them all into 10 stages as opposed to 30. So 3 stones are earned per stage. There's a total of 10 stages, which means 30 dragon stones, and then plus an extra 3 for completing stage 7 once. So that gives us 33 dragon stones. This is exactly the same for the LR Portara EZA as well. They're literally the same thing. So we say 66 total stones can be earned from those 2, which we cross-reference with JP. It's exactly the same, 33, 33. So that's adding 66 more. So we're virtually doubling our stone count. So 66 plus 66 gives us 132. Moving on to the free-to-play easy area. Now here, we are able to earn 5 stones by completing the new stages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we are going to add the missions for the Extreme Z Awakening. So we've got 6, plus 2, that's 8, plus 3, that's 11. Then we complete stage 2 10 times, so that's 12. And then clear stage 3 10 times, that's 13. So 13 Dragon Stones from all of the missions related to the free-to-play combo units. I am not counting the Goku Vegeta Juniors because they were around during Saiyan Day for Global. So they are a returning event that does not count. So 13 stones cross-referenced with JP is correct. So we're going to add 13 here. Okay, so that brings our total now to 145. Okay. Now we move on to the Legendary Goku event and Legendary Vegeta event missions, the category missions. We are earning 3 category missions for each version. So we're getting these 3 for Goku and the other 3 for the Vegeta, each one giving 5 Dragon Stones as a reward for completing them. So that means 15 here and 15 here. We are not counting the actual event itself because that would have already been done the first time you encountered this event and beat it for the first time. So 15 plus 15, that gives us 30. So looking at the JP side, it appears they only have 10. Now, I don't know why exactly that's the case, because Red Zone, or the Legendary Goku event from before, was 10 and 10. And then it was also 10-10, which means they only got 6 categories each time. That doesn't seem right, because didn't they have 7? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, this is weird. So that's one possible point of variability, but we're going to go ahead and count 15 per, as that is the correct answer. So we're going to add 15 for the missions for Goku, 15 for Vegeta. That gives us 30 more, which puts us at 175. And that just leaves Chain Battle. So for Chain Battle, where is that event? Explosive Chain Battle. So this one's going to be another one where people may not be able to necessarily complete all of the missions, depending on your box, depending on your units, your support line, your friends. You may not be able to do all this, but still, it doesn't hurt to try, because you can still earn a lot of stones and these Pepsis that you can use for skill orbs. But anyway, let's just count all of these that we could possibly earn. 5 plus 4 makes 9, plus 3, that's 12, plus 2, that's 14. 14 plus 3 is 17. 17 plus 2 is 19. 19 plus 1 is 20. So up to 20 Dragon Stones can be earned from Chain Battle, which shows up right there. So we've got 20 more being added, and that brings our total to 195 Dragon Stones, which is pretty close to the JP side. But we also need to forget, we don't need to forget, we don't want to forget, there's one more thing that we need to factor in here, and that is the end of the 7th anniversary gift. This we will definitely be receiving on Global, just as a nice way to wrap up the anniversary, even though it's not the end, but they make it seem like it is there. So they give us a 30 Dragonstone gift. Could that be more on Global? I guess it's possible. I don't think that they would change that. So for the sake of consistency, we're just going to say that we get an end of the anniversary 30 Dragonstone gift. So let me just add that down here. So star end of 7-year bonus. And so we're going to make that 30. So with the 30, we now end up at 225. So this is probably the best estimation we can give for the amount of stones that we can earn during the 7-year anniversary part 3. But there's one more possible variable that might end up taking place, and this is something that a lot of you guys have even been thinking about and you've been repeatedly telling me in the comments. So let's factor it in. If, like I mentioned before, the 7th anniversary global first event that is supposed to happen sometime either on part 3 or the EX part takes place, and it's so big that they end up rescheduling the Super Saiyan 4 EZAs, maybe the Super Saiyan 4s get rescheduled to part 3, because this event is not going to be here, right? So if the Super Saiyan 4 events moves over to part 3, then the part 4 might be solely for the new content. So if that's the case, we should maybe count that instead. So depending on who you are, if you want to count this, we can. So let's just take a quick look at this event. We are earning 4 stones per stage, which means 40 stones total for completing all 10 stages, plus another 3 for completing stage 7 once. So that's an extra 43 Dragon Stones. So depending on whether or not you really want to factor this in, I'm going to put this in parentheses. So I'm going to say LR SSJ4 EZAs. We'll move that over here. And then we say 43, right? Okay. So that's that. So now if we want to add that here, adjusted total, we're going to be getting 268 Dragon Stones. So depending on whether or not you want to count that, feel free. But those are the amount of stones that you could possibly be earning during part 3. I'm going to go with this because I don't think that they have any reason to change it. I think that whatever event that they give us, it's going to stay in the EX part with part 4 or with the Super Saiyan 4s. So I think it's going to be 225. But either way, we are earning over 200 stones during part 3, which means that's a lot of savings that you can be putting towards the worldwide download celebration. And I think that is an absolute win. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below and let me know in the comments, what does that 225 add-on bring your total amount of stones to? And did I miss anything? God, I hope not. I really hope I didn't. And are you going to be summoning on the 7-year anniversary banner still? Or are you going to be saving for either Raditz, the god himself, or the worldwide download celebration? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.